What up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of Once Upon a Dad podcast. I'm going to keep it short and sweet today, y'all. I don't even have much prepared to talk to y'all about, but I do have a couple things that I want to get off my chest and just a little quick update for y'all. Let y'all know what's going on with me and the girls. So, what's happening right now, it is October the 8th as I record this episode. So, of course, Halloween is around the corner. And the girls are trying to decide what costumes they want to wear. So, we got three options on the table right now. The first one that we started with was the Powerpuff Girls. Obviously, hello, right? And the Powerpuff Girls are iconic. The girls love them. I love them. It's fun for them and it's fun for me. So Marley would be Blossom, Riley would be Buttercup, and London would be Bubbles. Freaking adorable, right? What can go wrong? So ever since I introduced them to Powerpuff Girls, they've absolutely loved it, and I love that for them. And it's also fun for me because I get the choice of if I want to be the professor, Mojo Jojo, or the mayor. There's so many fun directions I can go with that. So that is kind of on the top of my list, what I want to do for Halloween costumes this year. However, I kind of put my foot in my mouth because I introduced the girls to Hamilton recently, and they have fallen in love with the Schuyler sisters, Angelica, Eliza, and Peggy. At least Marlee has really sunk her teeth into it. Riley and London, they don't really care as much, but Marlee is head over heels for Hamilton. And I thought, how freaking adorable would it be to let them be the Schuyler sisters, right? But the biggest problem I'm having with that is I don't know where to get those freaking Renaissance ball gowns, whatever it is that they wear. Um, in the show. Now I've looked online, so Amazon have some, Temu has some, all these places have them, but none that I think are going to be reliable enough and will make it to us in time by Halloween. So I'm up here trying to scramble and figure out what the hell it is I want to do with that. But I think it would be a great idea, right? It would be so adorable. And of course, I can be Hamilton, but I can be anybody for real. I can be Hamilton. I can be Burr and just walk around singing Wait For It all night. Just give me an excuse to sing Wait For It all day. That's all I need. So that's the second option. The third option I also really like, I think is adorable. The girls want to be the girls from K-pop Demon Hunters, the three main characters. I love the movie. I think it's great. I don't even think I've seen it all the way through. I feel like every time I turn it on, we get to doing the dad shit, right? Or we start doing the parent thing and we get up and start cooking and cleaning and whatever. So I don't really get to pay attention to the movie that much. However, from the little bit that I did see, I thought it was adorable. I thought it was so freaking cool. So the girls really love the idea of being the main characters there, which what are their names? I think it's Rumi. Damn, Marley was just telling me. Rumi, Zoe, and Mira, I think. Holy shit, I think I just got them. So yeah, I think it'll be really cute. There's a lot of those costumes going around, but I feel like everybody's gonna be that this year. So I kind of didn't want to do that because I know, at least I feel like everybody else will. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. But that has been our Halloween costume adventure that we've been embarking on this month. Also, I got to sit down with Marlee at lunch at school with her last week, and it was so fun, man. So I rarely ever get to have one-on-one times with the girls. Having three daughters, it's very rare to get one-on-one time with them, unless the others in school. So Marlee and Riley go to school. So London is usually the one that does get the most one-on-one time, but it's usually with their mom. And because I'm at work during the morning, their mom stays at home, and then we switch for the afternoon. So Morgan usually gets all the time with London one on one. I don't, but last Friday I got to do that, and it was so fun. London is a firecracker, y'all. When I tell y'all this girl gives no fucks about anything, I am not exaggerating. But we had a great time, man. We got up in the morning. We took both girls to school. Then we went to my eye appointment. I think, yeah, we went to my eye appointment. We got donuts, and then Marlee said that she wanted McDonald's for lunch, so that's what we got her. Now, mind you, I didn't pack Marlee a lunch that morning because I told her, we are going to be at your school to have lunch with you. And how it even got brought up, I think Marlee saw another dad or a parent come eat with their kid. And she was like, Daddy, I saw someone else, Daddy, come in to eat with them. I want you to come and eat with me. I said, okay, baby, we can do that. I think. I don't know. So I had to reach out to her teacher to see what the rules are because I know with all these school shootings, I know at least I hoped that schools will be cracking down a lot more on security and what that looks like. So, I mean, they got a few security measures. Like you got to get buzzed in before you get to the building, and then you have to go to the main office and then get buzzed into the rest of the building. I guess that's cool, but it also, I don't know. All they said I had to do was just come and bring my ID, and that's all I needed to do. I ain't really like that, but whatever. We'll talk about that later. Um, so we get there for to bring Marley her lunch, right? We went to McDonald's, we got her little meals, and it was dope. I got them Happy Meals, which I usually don't get them Happy Meals. They just grab the toy and then forget about the food completely. And B, up here in Ohio, we have at our McDonald's. So I've noticed that it is only for participating locations. So we have what's called a $5 meal deal where you get a McDouble or McChicken, either one, a 4-piece chicken nugget, French fry, and a small drink for $5. That's like a flash of wee wee. You can't beat it. So I get that. I get that for the kids every time. It never fails. They like it. They don't complain about not having a toy, whatever. But this time I actually got a toy for Marley and she had a ball. So London and I pull up to the school. We get there. We walk in and we see Marley. And of course her face lights up because she's so excited. But then like there was like a little flicker where that excitement went away. And I said, Marley, what's wrong, baby? She said, well, I was just in the bathroom and I was crying. I said, "What? Okay. Well, what was wrong? What are you crying for?" Now, mind you, I told y'all Marley's our crybaby. It's not out of the ordinary for her to cry at school. I said, "Marley, why were you crying?" She said, "I didn't think that you were gonna come today." And I looked at her and I said, "Marley, when have I ever given you a reason not to trust something that I say?" And she kind of looked at me confused, like, "What?" And I had to rephrase. I said, "Every time Daddy has promised you something, I've done it, right?" And she said, "Yeah." Y'all, that is one thing that I cannot stress enough. Please, please, please do not promise your kids something that you cannot follow through on. Because when I tell you these kids remember everything we say, they remember it all. And it's crazy because what we say isn't even the most important communication that we have with our kids, right? It's what we do. And of course, we all hear the old adage, right? Do as I say, not as I do. That's bullshit. That is straight bullshit. Kids see everything. Now, if I would have told Marley, hey, baby, I'm going to be there. I'm going to come to your school. Okay, great. And then I don't show up. What is she going to remember? Is she going to remember the fact that I said I was going to come? She going to remember those words? Or is she going to remember that heartbreak of me not actually showing up when she was anticipating me being there? The latter. Y'all can say whatever y'all want to these kids, but actions speak louder than words every time. These girls, they look up to us. They look up to us as fathers. They look up to us as parents. Whether they know it or not, their lives are being shaped by our actions. So please, please be careful what you say to these kids because they know, they hear, they listen. Anyway, enough about that. Back to the story. So we get through with that part. Cool. We sit down. It's so cute. Her little school, in their lunchroom, they have a designated area for parents to come and sit down with their kids. Everybody kept coming over saying happy birthday to Marley. I was like, Marley, why does everyone think it's your birthday? She said, oh, well, usually when a parent comes to sit at this table, it's because their kid has a birthday. Totally makes sense. Whatever. We were just there because it was a Friday. Okay, so back to the story. Marley, Lennon, and I, we finish up our lunch. Marley goes back to class. Everything is wonderful. I come back to pick her up after school, and I ask her, Marley, how did you like having lunch with Daddy in London? Was it fun? She said, yeah. But one of my friends came up to me and said, this is what her friend said. Her friend said, I wish I had a daddy to come and eat lunch with me. Y'all, that immediately pissed me the fuck off because this poor little angel does not have a father to come and have lunch with her. Something so simple. Everybody can do that. Every dad in the world can take off of work for one day to go and have lunch with your baby. I that shit baffles me, man. And I'm sure y'all thinking, whatever, lunch isn't a big deal. But there's so many other aspects of her life where she needs a father to show up, and clearly he doesn't. enough for her to say, "I wish I had a dad to come and eat lunch with me." Not, "I wish my dad would come and eat lunch with me," because that's a whole 'nother story now. There's probably dads who don't even know that eating lunch with their kids is a thing. I didn't know that eating lunch with our kid was a thing until Marley told me about it, and I said, "Okay, cool. Yeah, sure, I can do that, whatever." And I know that's what's happening out there, cool. But there are fathers who are intentionally leaving their babies out here to fend for themselves and saying, "Fuck it, you do it by yourself. I'm cool. I got a life to live over here. My life is more important than yours." Man, get the fuck out of here, bro. I can't I have no sympathy. I have no sympathy for fathers who are consciously making the effort to not be with their children. It doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, so I've been reading an article on Psychology Today. It says psychotherapist Susan Swartz has written extensively about the wounds daughters suffer from inadequate or harmful fathers. Inadequate or harmful fathers. Let's keep going. The title of this article is hella long, y'all. It is "The Absent Father Effect on Daughters, Father Desire, Father Wounds." It's a long ass title. Anyway, she notes that fathers often have difficulty relating to their daughter's emotional life. Even if the father is physically present, the daughter may feel unseen and unknown. Can you imagine going through life thinking that one of the two people who are supposed to be taking care of you, the one of two people who are supposed to care about you the most, don't see you or don't hear you? Now imagine all of these strangers in the world. Okay, cool. They can go unseen. They can go unheard. I don't care about strangers knowing my babies. But my children will know, no matter what, that they are seen, they are heard, they are loved, they are cherished because I try, because I show up, not because I'm the best dad in the world. Nobody's the best dad in the world. We also have to stop comparing ourselves, y'all. I get into this too. I start comparing myself to other dads. Oh, they do this. They must be a better dad than me. Nah, it ain't about that. It is about showing up for our babies and trying. Let me keep going in this article. She says, even if the father is physically present, the daughter may feel unseen and unknown and will take on the burden of this failure as her own. So not only are we failing at our job to be a dad, but now our babies got to feel like it's their fault. They got to feel like it's their failure. I got a problem with that. I got a problem with that, and it needs to be rectified. We need to fix this. And there's one solution: be present, show up. Y'all, that is the tip of the iceberg. It's not even all you have to do, but that's where you start. Now, once you show up, it's going to be a bit of a shit show, right? We don't know what to do as parents. There is no book to teach us how to do this from beginning to end. There's books out there to help, but there's nothing that's going to be tailored specifically for you and your child. But the first move you have to do, the very first piece you can move on the board, is by showing up. That's it. Be there. You can learn the rest as you go. Just show up. Let me keep going. She will feel a lack in herself. She may also strive to fulfill her father's expectations in sports, in scholarships, and financial success, or she may try to fill his emptiness, his depression, with her own energy. She will try to fill his emptiness, his depression, with her own energy. Imagine you are a father. Again, our job is to protect our child, but we're not doing that because we feel empty and we feel depressed, and now our baby got that energy on them. This is why it's so hard to be a dad, y'all. Being a dad is not easy. Y'all will never hear me say that. But it's something that has to be done. If you were man enough to lay down and bring a baby into this world, then you are man enough to show up and take care of them. Point blank, period. It's not hard. It's not rocket science. Let me continue. Dr. Schwartz describes how a father's wounds can depotentiate a daughter's capacity to use her energy for herself, which can compromise her ability to focus and value who she is. So, Dr. Schwartz describes how a father's wounds can depotentiate a daughter's capacity to use her own energy for herself. So, if we're not there, how our wounds, how our feelings, how our emotions have such a profound effect on these girls. So much so that it depotentiates her capacity to use her energy for herself, meaning she don't even have the energy to do shit for herself because she too busy trying to please us. That's not what we want for our daughters, y'all. That is not what we do. We do not take our emptiness, our loneliness, our sadness, our depression, and put it on them. That's why we take that shit. Y'all, as fathers, when you get home, of course we're tired. Of course we're drained. Sure, we may be depressed, but you bundle that shit up and you go in and you put the best smile on your face that you can for these babies, right? Show them that we love them. They didn't ask to be here. They didn't. You brought them into this world. So handle your business. Make them feel loved. Make them feel cherished. Make them feel seen. It'll make all the difference in the world. One thing about me, my baby's gonna know they value in this world. My baby's gonna know that they're strong, that they're powerful, that they can do whatever it is that they put their mind to in this world because they're a woman, right? For so many years in this country, women were pushed to the side and thought of as less than. Now we got a chance to change that. And it still exists. Women have the same job as men and are getting paid significantly less just because they're a woman. My baby's gonna know. My baby's gonna know when they go to apply for a job. I know who I am. I know who I am. Y'all know who my daddy is? Y'all can't pay me this. Let me go talk to my daddy. I nothing, nothing in this world will bring me more joy than to pump fuel, energy, and life into my children. Is crazy, y'all. It is absolutely insane. We got to do better. We got to do better. The words of that little girl when I went to Marlee school. I wish I had a daddy to come and eat lunch with me. My heart breaks for that girl. My heart breaks for that girl. My heart breaks for every child who doesn't have a daddy out there to take care of them. Who has a daddy out there who can take care of them, but are choosing not to because their life is more important. They want to have fun. They want to be free. They want to do whatever they want to do. Unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. You need to have a relationship with your kids. You need to have a relationship with your kid's mother. Now, don't get that twisted. Having a relationship with your kid's mom does not mean y'all have to be together, does not mean that y'all have to be best friends, don't mean that y'all have to talk to each other every single day. But y'all have to communicate for the sake of these children. Y'all stay on the same page when it comes to raising them. Nothing else matters. I'll get off my soapbox, man. That's all I got for y'all today. I heard that and I've been waiting to get this off my chest. I do not have a guest this week. I know this week's episode was short and sweet, but I needed to say that. I feel much better now that I got that off my chest. But y'all, I every week when I have guests on, I always ask them a question before they leave, and it is, what piece of advice do you have for other dads out there? My advice has been and will always be present. Show up and show your kids that you love them. After that, we figure it out. Come and listen to the podcast to figure out what to do after that because I don't know. I don't have all the answers. My oldest daughter is 6. I still have many years to go. I still have many lessons to learn, which is why I need more guests on here. So if y'all are watching this and y'all have daughters, please hit me up. I need people to talk to. I want to learn more. I'm not just here to preach to y'all and try to teach y'all everything because I'm not a guru and I don't know everything. But I love y'all, man. Dads, show up for your kids. Be there. Be better. Keep listening to Once Upon a Dad podcast. If you want to be a guest on, please comment on whatever platform you're watching this on. You can email me at onceuponadadpodcast@gmail.com. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all next week. Peace.